Welcome back, friends. Today we will learn about frames per second. Frames per second is nothing but the images you take in a second. And when you play with them at the same speed, it creates a motion that is called a video. The cinema standard is 24 frames per second. You may see 23.976 or 23.98 something in your cameras. It is all the same. Frames per second is a camera-specific feature. Some cameras can shoot for 24 and 30 frames per second, and some can shoot for 24, 30, 60, and so on. The higher-end cameras specialized in shooting at a very high frames per second, like 500 or 1000 frames per second, and even more. In most cameras and smartphones, you can control how many frames or you can say images you want to take in order to make a video. This is a simple video with the sun in the background. Nothing special about it. It was taken at 24 frames per second. This is an image I pulled out from the video, and I'm sure you might have done it too many times. Your camera is empowered to make a video and take photos. What does it mean? It means your camera takes photos as per instructions given by you and then process them digitally to make a video by joining the images together. A video is made when a number of images in motion are captured in a specific time duration. I hope you remember the video of the horse we saw in the beginning. Those were about 16 frames or 16 images put together, and that is why they look jittery. The different images we use to make a video are called frames. The standard is 24 frames per second because our human eye is comfortable with 24 frames per second. It gives us that natural blur that our eyes are used to. And if we don't see the blur in motion, then it looks fake or doctored. News broadcasters use 30 frames per second because they do not want to present the cinematic appearance. Let's look at it from a different perspective. This is 1 second, and these are frames. 1 second has 24 frames, and we know if we play, it will be a video. But what happens if we shoot 30 frames or 60 frames or maybe 120 frames per second? We still get a video, but as we have injected more than required frames in a second, they will increase the quality of the video. The video will have a silkier and smoother look that may not be cinematic, but that still looks amazing. And it is not just about the cinematic look. More or fewer frames per second have their specific usage. If your scene demands slow motion, you will have to shoot at a higher frame rate, like 60, 120 or 240 or maybe 500 frames per second, because you will slow down, and even after removing the frames in post-production, you can get a smooth video. Your scene can also demand a jittery effect, so you may have to shoot at a lower frame rate. So it all depends on the requirement at the end. In video production, there are some rules which you can't break. We will talk about these rules very soon. However, most rules in cinematography are meant to be broken, but how beautifully you break them makes all the difference. This is where your creativity comes in. Okay, coming back to the frames per second, let me explain you with a couple of examples, and I hope it will all be clear. I'm sure you may have made or seen the flipbook. This is how the motion is created. I love flipbook and I still make them sometimes. My favorite was the sticky man, easy and quick to make. In my view, flipbook is the smallest camera and a projector itself. You draw the images and see them in motion at the same place. And the animation is the advanced version. The same concept of a flipbook but more professional and on a bigger scale. In animation also, artists create images slightly forward than the previous one, and the movement is so subtle that it becomes motion when put together. Check out some videos of a cartoon animation and you will be amazed by the efforts they put into making a 5 minutes episode. So, I hope the frames per second is clear, and next time when you make a video, you will keep FPS in mind and use the right value. I'll see you tomorrow with a new lesson. Till then, goodbye and have fun.